Hey Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your storyline or wavelength on this one, go check your other major placements. Those are your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And the little Google can help you find out what those are. So lots of websites do that for you. All right, and let's see here. Starting with the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck for an intuitive guide here. I had plans. Other things I was going to do today, but apparently I'm reading 6 cards for you. Oh, you're isolated. You're really isolated. This is really funny. I just did a reading with these. But it looks like all you need to do is a little tweak and things can snap in for you. So we're going to talk about these isolation cards kind of quickly. Oh, here. Oh, there you are. You're here. You're watching me. I'm not just talking to myself here. Well, I kind of am, but technically, but not spiritually. Okay, so here are all of our isolation cards. Sagittarius. Normally, I love your readings so much, but so far on this one, I mean, there's some clarity here, but I don't want to. So, you're stranded. This is something came along that was out of your control. You maybe didn't navigate it as best as you could, and now you're stuck someplace, and you don't know if you're ever going to get out. You will. You will. There's a rainbow sundog. God sees you. Spirit sees you. Help is on its way. Everyone's been getting this card this week. Not everyone, but a couple people have, and it's reminding me of a couple weeks ago when I was hiking on this long beach spit of 5 mile. Well, it goes longer than that, but you're only allowed to walk down 5 miles of it. And a sailboat ran aground. And when I was taking pictures of it, it was very cool, very beautiful. I'm sure it wasn't for the owners, but and the waves were smashing against it. And then behind it was this clouds just like this with this little sundog in it, and it reminded me of this. So stranded, run aground, something's not moving. There's no movement here. You're stuck, you're stranded, you're stuck maybe a little bit by yourself, feeling like you're alone and by yourself. And then here we have home in the sky. You might be getting a little comfy here. You're at home in this stagnant, stuck energy. You're starting to get used to it. This is okay when there's no option. I certainly have had periods of my life where, because of an injury, I was stuck in bed in a dark room for months on end, unable to do much of anything. So accepting that and getting used to that and getting home, becoming at home in that situation is fine. That's what you have to do. You can't, or else you'll go crazy. But this could be you choosing to stay. Maybe you've, set up a little tent, a little campfire. You've got a clothesline now up here, and some things are drying there. And you've kind of set up camp in this sense that you might just be here forever in this stranded spot. These birds could fly, they could talk, they could fly. They're choosing not to. They're getting very comfy. They're waiting for something to happen, for spirit to move them. Balloons are representative of, waiting for spirit. They're a mode of transportation that involves a lot of surrender to forces outside of our control. So you're up here, you're up in the air, and you're sort of getting comfy there, getting cozy there, in this sort of limbo, in this limbo place. And then here you have touched the sky. You're dreaming about connecting with somebody else. You are alone, and you are private, but you are dreaming of having this connection with the outside world, maybe being part of a group, being seen. You're kind of two minds. Part of you is like really engulfed in this introvert world here and very comfy here, but you're fantasizing about having more people in your life, maybe having somebody in your life, or maybe just being seen, being acknowledged, being recognized. We're pack animals. we survive by being in groups and helping each other out for the most part. You know, being banished from some sort of tribal situation usually equals death. Could have very easily, you know, back in the day. So we are kind of pack animals, and you might be missing your pack, you might be missing your tribe. We need to be seen, see and be seen, be celebrated and celebrate others. It's a human necessity, and I don't know, and you're dreaming of it, you're dreaming of it. Lucky, oh, you might be waiting here also. I mean, there's a lot of waiting. You might be waiting for help, waiting for the winds to change, waiting for an opportunity. And here we have protective nest, you're waiting. I think all of these just came out in a personal reading as well. So all this nest, this protective nest, these eggs ripen when they ripen. So there's a lot of surrender here too. You're protecting something. You've got some ideas and something in reality. You've got some ideas here and some dreams here, and you're being very protective, possibly even secretive about them. But again, they are like these balloons. There's a sense of surrender to it too. You're protecting it, but you don't have control over it. You don't have control when it comes out. If we crack an egg from the outside, the thing inside of it dies. But if the thing inside of it cracks out, and that then that's part of life in the beginning of its life, right? And so that is that's something we don't have control of. We can protect it until the time that it's ready to come out, and then even then it needs some protection. But right now we've got these eggs, we've got potential, we've got something in reality coming in here that's very beautiful. Also ideas and dreams, and we're very protective of them, but we don't have a lot of control over how they're going to happen and how it's all going to unfold. Not a lot of say, but we might have a little bit of say because we have this all is connected, and it's just this little tweak, this little thing you pull. This little thing you pull can change everything, bring in this change, start the fall. Okay, so if you pull on a string, it does not mean you're starting the fall. That's already happening. But this is about change, fall and spring and this wind, and it's just a little change, a little switch up. And because we have the spider here, we have Anansi here. Anansi to me, well, Anansi is the storyteller, right? So that's about our words and the way we talk about something and the way we talk about ourselves. You may just be needing a tiny tweak to get this all moving and changing and flowing. Just some self-talk issues, maybe a story you tell about yourself that you just need to change a little bit, make it a little bit more positive. It's a small shift. It's a small shift. Instead of saying, I can't go anywhere, I can't leave. Say, I'm not leaving right now, or I can't leave right now, but it's not always going to be that way. And then you can move it a little closer, like, I could probably leave at some point, and then you can move it a little closer. I think I can leave, and then you move it a little. It's just small tweaks, little bit by bit, inching our way towards change and changing something. But it's not a big sweeping motion. It's just a little bit. And Anansi, well, the spider to me, not necessarily Anansi, because that's a storyteller specifically, but the spider to me is also an artist. He just does his work, he does his art, and things come. So there's a lot of surrender in that work too, as far as just doing your thing, keeping track of what you need to keep track of, protecting what you need to protect, doing your thing, and waiting for, and then the change is going to come as you just take care of your business here. And I also find this interesting because we have these birds here, and here we have this protective nest. Both of these are about waiting and surrender, which I've never thought of before, them both being about that. But when they come out next to each other like that, it's kind of interesting. I see them in a different light. So, and then we have no rain today. This is a toggling between good news, bad news. Good news is this, bad, you know, those stories, I loved them. The good news is, and then the bad news is, and then the good news is, and then the bad news is. So you might be having one of those weeks where the sun and the rain toggle back and forth. You might be dealing with toggling back and forth between depression and happiness, contentedness, extroversion, introversion. being okay with being stuck and enjoying certain aspects of it and feeling at home about it, and then feeling depressed in other ways about it. But this no rain today is definitely our be here now card. So whatever you're feeling, make sure you're there, you're in that moment, you're understanding that that moment will be passing no matter what feeling it is, and you're with those feelings and you're with your experience of the day. So if you're having a lot of clarity, allow that clarity to come in, engage with it, enjoy it, love it. If you're feeling some sadness and frustration, allow that to come in. Don't fight it. And know that it's only here for a little while, and then it's going to clear up again, and it's going to be sunny. So allow that to happen. So in some ways, I see some surrender to your own feelings needing to happen. Some surrender, we're not being controlled by our feelings. We're allowing them to come in as another source of information. As with all of the sources of information that our bodies give us, our sight, our sense, our touch, all of that, we're using that as information to make decisions about what we like, what we don't like, what we want to continue, what we want to stop. So I see you being very present, or needing to be focused on that, being very present with your emotions and your feelings. And where are you? You're right here. And what time is it? It is now. So you're being here now. And being here now can sometimes be unpleasant. That doesn't mean being forcing positivity on yourself. But it does mean allowing that to flow and allowing the positivity to come when it wants to come. All right, Sagittarius, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Well, this is a different story entirely. This is exciting here. In your recent past, you have this Ace of Wands coming in, this new beginning, this new offering, a new cycle, a renewal, a resurrection, a renewal coming in here in your recent past. Very exciting, dynamic, interesting, possibly having to do with creativity, or even sexuality. Very inspired, intuitive, new beginning coming in, bringing in a lot of life, a lot of vitality, maybe even some money. Very exciting. In your present situation, you have this Well card. This is returning to the source, returning to a spiritual source, or even physical renewal. You're going back to the source, back to something that has always fed you and been exciting for you. You're looking at the past. You're looking at this source. The well is the source of inspiration, the source of wellness, the source of spirituality and faith, and you've returned there for rejuvenation, for spiritual, emotional rejuvenation, returned there for inspiration. You've returned to some home turf in some way. And then what's on your mind? You're in your hopes, fears, and inner landscape. We have the Knight of Cups. So we have an offering. You might be dreaming of offering something to somebody. This is a little bit of this vibe. This showing up in your inner landscape, not your external, your inner landscape. Dreaming of connecting with somebody, dreaming of offering somebody your love. You're suited up because you're a knight, and knights have a bit of a recklessness to them. So you might be dreaming about making an offering, thinking about the future with somebody or with something, maybe an idea that you have, an artistic endeavor or something like that. You're really thinking about love, about what it's like to offer love, or even hoping for someone. You might be just dreaming for someone else to come, but they've got to come on their own in their own time, right? You can't force it. So there's some part of you that maybe feels a little bit on hold while you're waiting for love, which is rarely a good idea, but I can imagine occasional scenarios where that might be functional. But you're really dreaming about it, an emotional sharing of some kind, either receiving one or dishing one out, giving one out, a cup of love, cup of emotion. There might be some unintended, something in the subconscious here that might come out a little unintended. That's probably why it's still in your inner landscape and you haven't done it already. Hoping to bring somebody maybe some joy and some happiness. I'm hoping someone brings some to you. Man, if you were stuck and trapped here, you definitely want someone to bring you some water, a cup of water. Bring in some relief here. What's that issue? Man, you're having a very like internal, subconscious read here. What's at issue here is this moon reversed. Just not seeing things, subconscious issues kind of controlling things. Really not seeing things, not listening to your intuition, not able to see things, and maybe wanting to reveal things, maybe not revealing things, withholding information. Somebody's withholding some information from you, or you're withholding some information from somebody. It could be about how you really feel, how you genuinely feel, because you would like to share. But there is some sort of subconscious issue is keeping you sort of tied up here and not sharing. In either it's coming from them or it's coming from you, but it's keeping this cup of love that this knight wants to bring in. It's keeping it in the background and from moving forward. So there could be some issues in your subconscious, some fears that you need to explore, or you're withholding information. Somebody's withholding something. Just something's intentionally not being revealed. There's a secret here, and that's causing a problem. In your environment, you have this Three of Pentacles. You have a team working together. It looks like you're dreaming of a team, but this could be work. This is a team actually trying to work together. Everyone's bringing their gifts, bringing their abilities to work all together. Your accountant and your architect and your foreman are all working together to create a sanctuary, a safe space, build something. So there's a team somewhere around you of people working. Maybe you want to be part of that team and you're feeling left out of that team, or maybe this is like just a work situation and people are working together here, but there's some sort of maybe there's some sort of love brewing in the work situation. That's why you can't talk about it, is because it would go against the rules. Maybe. And then here's what your to-do list is. Stay strong. Do the right thing. Do what you know is right. Have patience. This is a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience to tame that lion. Patience and strength. It might feel like it's going on forever, and it certainly does with these other cards here. It feels like this patience is going on forever. But patience is one of those words where you don't need it unless you don't have it. If I'm waiting for something, I'm usually just waiting for something. If I start to think about, oh, I'm waiting very patiently, or I need to be patient, I'm already starting to feel that impatience coming up on the edges, sneaking up on me. Because otherwise I'm just like not even thinking about patience or the need for patience or anything like that. Patience is just something you think about when you're starting to lose it. And so you don't need the word unless you're almost done with it. So having patience and having strength, holding on, holding back, refraining from charging forward, refraining from attacking, refraining from moving. Oh, I think you've got to refrain from doing this thing, from bringing that in. You got to be strong. You got to hold back. You are so tired of it, though. Because something has to come to fruition of its own. There's some sort of force outside of you that needs to come in here, and you know that, and so you're having to withhold and hold back for what will feel like an eternity. But then you are going to get an opportunity. Just for now, you're holding back. But in a possible future scenario is we have the Fool card. You leaping forward at an opportunity. You finally getting to move out of this place, and you're going to do it. This stagnation situation of waiting. Oh my gosh, it is a lot of waiting. Like 4 waiting cards here. The deck is really acknowledging the amount of patience that you are having to pour into this situation and the strain of it. It is a lot of waiting, but it's telling you it's going to be worth it, because at some point you get to leap forward. You get to leap forward into the unknown. You get to take your chance and take your opportunity and jump off into, you know it's going to be a little unsafe, it's risky, but you get to, eventually, you get your 0 card, your level 0, you're leaping into the future, your sunrise, the clouds clear, the opportunity presents itself, and you get to leap forward. But for now, you're staying put. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you have the strength to endure this and keep being patient. Keep being the patient protector of this dream and this idea. All right, so I hope you have a great week, and I hope it's full of patience, or at least not even having to think about the word patience. So thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I very much appreciate them.